Hey there, paper geeks and glitter nerds. It's another crazy geek crafter. And hopefully this is working. Had a bit of a technical issue there. I think I fixed it. I think I did. So, today, the 26th, I made it home in time to do a craft with this teddy for you. And, just show you my plate from my sidekick, and he's gone. There he is. Come back here. He fits, and this would fit, but I brought my bigger machine out because I figured I'd do a background, which requires a bigger machine. I have a tradition with my husband that we, oops, don't be so loud, give each other presents for Advent, and these are mine from this year. Just need to get this sorted. And I was thinking of using these two for my teddy bear. This is supposed to make you think of the Danish flag, which we use for celebrations, and this one says congratulations over and over and over. I also have gotten Mickey and Minnie and some stencils. Now these I don't think will go well with the teddy bear, but I was thinking of using these, so I'll need the bigger machine for that. Thinking of doing this in maybe light blue. Let's see if this is wide enough for my, it's 9.5 and I only need 9, so that will do. And I'll just cut it at 14, something like that. So I can trim it down after I've cut it to fit with what I want. Put that way. Blue background, and behind that will be a piece of red for the flags. And this one I think I'll do in white, and then I'll figure out if I'll do some ink blending or something like that. Let's go with this and find a piece. How big is Teddy? He's quite tall, actually. So we need 7 by 7 at least. So let's make 7.5. 5, 7.5, preferably squared. So the white one goes with this, and the blue this. And I can cut Teddy and the scooter, I think that's what it's called in English, a scooter, with my sidekick. But let's start with these. And this is a Danish brand. It's called Made with Love. And the designer's name is Mette Vitus. Most Danish crafters know of her. She has done a lot of work for different companies. So let's see if I can get this off of here. Maybe. That was not as easy as I'd hoped. Okay. Let's put that aside, and of course, my regular tape has run away during all the Christmas packing. Where have you run to? Honey? Did you take my cello tape for wrapping a present and didn't come back with it?
Den helt normale tape. Ja, den er ovenpå.
Great. Okay. Okay, so it's not here. I'll fix this later.
I can go get it.
It's okay. I can wait. Just now, I know where it is. So let's just do this piece here. This will be fun with my crooked plates. And I don't know if I'll keep it square or if I will cut a circle like I did the two previous days. Just want to emboss to start with. Hope you can hear me above the machine. Let's just put that there while I try and disconnect this one. It works a bit better if you start at the top. Good to know. It's a bit less round. Stick this back in here. And I'm just gonna keep it on the plate for now. And this one. I'm just gonna take a piece of tape. Try and keep this in here. There's more of a chance for it to shift with this one than with the other one. That didn't matter as much. So let's get it over here. Even though this is seriously low tack, it still ruined the paper. It won't show on the front at least. I hope this sound isn't too annoying. Like that. I like to clean up before I put things away. Makes it more endurable, in my opinion, to craft. When everything is ready when you grab it. I just need to poke these out. So, something to talk about today. I have sometimes a bit of trouble sleeping. I'll think about random things. And last night I wondered about why humans so think about changing shape. There are so many stories, both you know, old folklore and more modern tellings of humans who can also be something else. And there are many ways to describe it. And of course, if you're writing a... Why is it? Oh, it's supposed to be missing a corner. Good. I lost my train of thought. Great. I have read a lot of these shifters. Let's call them shifters because it's not necessarily always wolves, but that was my first interest in this. I love wolves, and the thought of being one is just... find it magical. But let's just call them shifters because, like I said, you could shift into anything. If you're writing a story, at least. Let's get this one back, and then I need 3 of these at least, and let's do 4 of each, and then let's see. where it gets us. Shifters. There's always some kind of catch in the stories I've seen. And that makes sense. You know, it can't all be positive. But it's really interesting that mostly stories are about humans who find out that they can shift. But I have read one story where a lot of the shifters are actually prone to be animals more than humans. So that's interesting. And why would an animal want to be a human? You could ask yourself. So, the story I'm referring to is written by someone in Germany. I can't remember the writer, but the series is called Woodwalkers, and it is actually set in the United States. The first book follows a boy who lives with his family of mountain lions, and he decides that he actually would like to try and live as a human. And he is a boy. This is I wouldn't call it a children's book, but it is for kids more than adults, I guess. So he goes and tries to be with the humans, and it's just it raises some interesting questions, because in this universe you can be a shifter of any kind, but you don't get to pick. You're born with it or you're not. And it'll of course be very cool to be a predator like a puma or a wolf. But what about those who turn into more generic things like guinea pigs or frogs? Would you prefer to be a human then? Would you use your shape at all if that was what you turn, or if you turn into a deer? Imagine hunting season. I'm just saying. I don't think that would be a very nice way to live. So I was thinking about this last night. I was trying to sleep. And the whole shifter thing, it's funny, mostly it is a human who can turn into an animal. They're mostly seen more as humans than animals. But I do remember, and I'm not entirely sure if it's correct, but I do think there is Maggie Shiftwater or something. There's a book series, and the first one is called Shiver. And in this one, if you turn into an animal, in this case, in her stories, they're wolves, at least in this series. I think she also wrote one with ravens, but I haven't read those, so I can't tell you much about that one. But in time, if I remember correctly, you will actually become a wolf permanently. And that made me think of Nagini from Harry Potter, because we know now, after the Newton films, that she was actually once a human and not a snake. That's also very interesting. Would you dare turn into an animal if it meant that you may not ever be able to turn back into a human being? The opposite is true for the shifters in Twilight. The wolves you meet in Bella's story there, they get to live forever if they become wolves quite often. If they stop becoming wolves, they will age. And that's also an interesting choice to have to make. Do you want to live forever, but everyone you know dies? You know, imagine that your best friend dies and now his son or daughter is looking kind of your age, and that must be really weird. Yeah. But I like it when an ability also has a catch. It's the same for superheroes. Some catches are worse than others, of course, but I find it interesting. This was the fourth bicycle. Not bicycle, scooter. I also in the woodworkers, you can actually also be an insect. And who'd want to be a mosquito? Then I don't see any reason to shift at all, because I'd be afraid to die. You know. If you read Gail Carriger's books, not partly Soulless, the series Soulless, but more the follow-up Custard Protocol explores this whole idea of shifters that shift into things that are either larger or smaller than humans. And that's quite interesting, because it takes a kind of a more science direction with its story and explanation. That's the thing, when you write a story, you can give as little or as much explanation to the viewers or readers, whichever you would like. And in the Soulless books, it's more about what makes you have more or less soul. But whereas in the Custard Protocol, it's more about what changes can you actually make to your being. They explore different kinds of vampires. Oh, you lost an eye. That's not good. Let's find something to keep that in check. And I find it interesting. I know all over the world there are so many legends, vampire legends, and there are possibly also for shifters. So why not entertain the idea? Damn it, just a second. Now I lost my train of thought again. Damn it. Sorry. What's your... I know you're not supposed to swear on YouTube. Darn it. Shifters. Consequences. Was that where I was at? I think so, maybe. Oop. In the European folklore, shifters are mostly wolves. I say mostly because it's not all that, but it is mostly seen as a curse also. And but I know I think it's an Irish legend or Celtic legend, wherein a wolf shifter is not an evil being. They also have shifters who are women who turn into seals. I am uncertain whether any other people have that legend other than the Celtics, the one with the seals. It's very interesting. To me, it gives kind of a mermaid conundrum. You know, why would the seal turn into a human? Well, probably because they're curious. But why would they want to stay human? That's also a good question. I believe the legend says something about that if you steal their seal skin, they can't turn back, and then they're trapped. And men would do it because they were beautiful or something. But see, that's the kind of things I wonder about late at night when I can't sleep. And if something bothers me a lot, like really a lot, then I'll look it up in the middle of the night. But I try not to, because I'll just become even more awake. So I sit there or lie there with all of my questions, mostly unanswered. It's yeah. Curiosity can be cruel. That eye really doesn't want to stay in there. No, that was the other one actually. That was the other side. Okay. One more. I said 4 of each. Okay, there's no need to put it in the middle of it all. Okay, let's cut around this teddy. I have seen a few spoilers on this set in other people's projects, but not anything particularly damning. Is that the right? That's not the one. I am out of words for that one. I don't feel I got spoiled on the details here. What I could do with this teddy bear. You're really something, aren't you, Teddy? Okay. There we go. Putting these aside. I had actually thought I was going to cut him in brown, but now I'm going to have to color him. Okay. To the side. Let's see. Let's see. Start by poking out all the things that we don't need. I have to figure out what's which color. And I'm trying to stick to the same color palette as everything else, so that's why I picked the blue I've used before. I can do the distressings I have on my table, and the colors from the Echo Park color palette. I don't think I'll use any of the pattern papers though. They won't really fit with this theme. It's more spring or summer, maybe. Guess kids write these at winter too, if there's no snow. But let's keep it a tiny bit simple at least. Okay, just gonna first this away. So put my trash away. Did I turned it around. I was talking about yesterday that things need to be in the same place as they always are, or I get confused. Okay, so I have the scooter. So I should take off the wheels, I think. Yeah, let's try that. Knife for that one. Ooh, oh. Good. And a tray. Goes here, I think. To here. Here. Then I can take out this piece, I think. So that I have that to put on top. Let's do it like this. That one. Let's remove. This would really help if I had kids. Then I would maybe know something about this thing. They were never really popular when I was a kid. There's more roller skates and skateboards. First the four-wheeled, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 wheeled skates, and then the one-liners later on. Maybe I'll take off this part as well, actually. Then that can be silver together with this stick part. That we in here and out here, I think. I don't think I want to do anything more than that. Maybe I'll just double up the first one for stability. Let's start with the scooter. Yeah, first doubling up the first one. Alright, so here I need to color in the wheels. They should be black, I think, or cold gray. I have to move this again. Let's try get it out of the way. I'll put it over here. And I can still keep an eye on it, hopefully. Remember to do so. Alright. I need to clean up a tiny bit here because this is stressing me out. Alright, I think that's better. Maybe a little bit better. Okay, put that there. And put a pin in this. So let's get this out and this piece. Goody. So the wheels in some dark but cold grays. Let's see, this is 9. Or should it just be the part out here? Maybe. I tend to skip one with the grays. I just feel it gives a better contrast. Edges. There. Other end. There, I think. Nine, 7. Five. I think I got a bit of glue on my tire. That's not good. But let's start here and move the teddies. Okay, so the rim, is that silver as well? Could be. It's just that part will cover it up, so I just have to. I think I'll take this one instead. Bit easier. Okay, I have to concentrate for a sec. I think like that, maybe, yeah. That means I have to cut more of this one actually. Sometimes it's easy to see what is what once you start coloring. I need to cut here, 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 and up here. There, putting that way. And that should cover up any of my overflow. Yep. Okay. So this is now the bottom, and then this is the next piece up, and this is the next piece up. Oh goodness. I think I'm gonna color this bar here silver. If there are any suggestions when it comes to the color of this thing, please let me know. Are we doing dark blue, red, dark green, gray, brown? Those are kind of the colors I've been using. This will be covered up, so I need this part and that one. That bit black, maybe. Actually, I think it's a good choice. Black. And then when this comes on top, it has some kind of color. This piece right here, can do the wider one, can be silver. It has to go all the way up. So, right. Okay, let's try and glue this piece on here. I could also do yellow. I have done yellow before, so I could do that. The only thing is this silver, it really takes a long time to dry. So let's just, oh, not that one, this one. Go this again, because it has my fingerprint all over it. And press this part down with the marker. No ringing. Alright, now, color. Kind of intrigued with the yellow idea. I have one that is, where is it? It's called fresh green, but in my opinion, it's yellow. So let's try that one. And then can shade it with what is called olive green, which in my opinion is still yellow. Okay. Stamping block on top here, and then the handlebars. Should maybe be black as well. I'm a bit confused with this roundish thing. It may be a, you know, a ring thing. I'm just gonna color it all black. I'm just tapping it because it's so tiny. If I try to swipe it, it'll probably fly off somewhere. Pick it up, tiny bit of glue. Okay. There to dry, put this on, and then let's take a look at Teddy. Teddy's gonna need a tiny piece of paper. Oh, of course, just take it from here. Just want to glue in the eyes and the nose. Making sure they don't run away. It's a bit hard to see what I'm doing here. There. And then eye is in. And the tiny scissors are here. A little snip there. Should do it. There. Now it's invisible. Okay. Now. All right. So this is the bottom bear with all the parts. So.
These two, yeah, good.
Poke out those. Let's see. Let's take off his back ear. Just put it here. His back arm. Oh, that's good. Straightish. Can sometimes be easier to cut it if you turn it over. And the back leg. So teddy 1, teddy 2. Maybe I should also take off his tail. Teddy's face. Okay. Close. And here I think we'll need to take off Teddy's head. And of course the arm again. Should take off both. We're going to need to miss the tail at least. But should we do both legs off? I think we are. Jana. All of the internet hurt you, honey. All right. I'm thinking I'll double up Teddy like I did with the scooter for some stability. That means glue on this Teddy. because he's the one where the ice won't fall out. There. Alright. And I'm just gonna save my 2 teddy faces over here. So there's 2 teddy and brown, but which browns? How about we go brick brown, brown, rose brown, so it's a reddish kind of brown. That's up here, 97, 94, and 11. 94, 11. Yeah. Okay. Putting this away for a moment. And I like to put them with in the same order every time, so I don't mess up when I'm coloring, but it's the darkest to the lightest. Let's start with when I'm unsure where my shadows go, I always start with the lighter color. No, I need to color into his ear and this arm. The tail, and this leg, and I need to go all around the rest to make sure he looks right. Careful around his eyes, because if this one doesn't have eyes in, then these are the ones that you'll see on the final product. So now I have his lightest color, but these are the back parts, the ones furthest away from who's watching, so they need to be darker. And this one, I'm gonna go back out, so to speak, the colors again. Back with the medium. And then the lightest, just to blend it all together. All right. I'll decide on the eyes and the nose in a moment. I want to finish all the browns. First, oh, careful with that leg. So, we are shading the leg, under his chin, behind his ear, above his ear, around his head, back of his head. And we can do a bit of shading above the nose. Good. Now I have a plan. So I take the darkest this time. nose, under his chin. Now remember the arm will be covered. Behind his ear, above on his head, to make it look round here, and actually also need to go down this side and this side to make it appear rounded. And that would be helpful if the leg didn't move when I did it. Okay, blending that out. With the medium shade. And I should also do the ear, of course. It will be darker in here because of the shadows. And then the lightest color at the end. This paper is not actually made for blending, but it works okay. Medium shade on the leg. Just need to hold on to this, feathering it in from the side. And then doing swirls with the lightest one to try and blend it together. Is this one? Yep, rose beige. That one needs a bit more, I think. Blend that out. And then just gonna go around the rest. I'll tell you with the marker. Trying to eliminate any white edges. I'm not going to glue him on yet. I'm just going to place him here. So we can start. Oh, see, there's some white down here. That's not good. That is not good. Let's get you back here. As such. And then we start over with the last piece. We need some shadow under the arm and on the underside of the arm. I also do a bit on top for the illusion of roundness. Some on his tummy, more down here. That would be in the shadow. A bit on his back for the roundness. Okay. Then we take the middle shade. Start here where it's easier. Bring it in a bit further. Up here. And the last blend. Let's put this on top. There, that teddy bear. So the eyes. Just put a lid on that. I think I'm just going to do them black. And the nose, and then do a small highlight with, where did I put those? There. With one of these, I think I'd take 0.8 in size, because I can't fit it in here once I've put it on. So let's do a highlight up here, highlight up here on the nose. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry, just needed to find out what was going on. My husband is so sweet, he doesn't want to bother me when I'm crafting. Live, that is. He does bother me all the time when I'm not live, but I don't mind. So. He has been a bit ill since we came home from our vacation. It's weird, he always gets sick when we go on vacation. Alright, let's get you on here. Okay, I may have to try and touch up the highlight on the nose. That kind of disappeared. It's not perfect. I got some on the sides here. That was why I tried to do it before I glued this on. I think that helped a little bit. At least a little. Okay, the body. Oh, I have a white spot. That's not good. And Teddy is done. There we go. Let's clean up a bit before moving on. Put this away. Stack these a bit. So I'll need those later for the documentation. I don't know if anyone reads them, but I like to have them. I even do them if I'm not filming. Running documentation when I color. I do like to sit. Okay, can you just, thank you. I do like to sit on the couch and color with my sick clean color real brush markers. And I always keep a log of the colors because all of a sudden I noticed I forgot to color something and then can't remember what color I used. That's problematic. So we need a red piece for this. Orange, purple. How come the red one always disappears in here? Oh, it's me. I put it back wrong. That is not helpful. Alright, let's glue this on. Need to refill this soon. It's recording, honey. Yeah, I know. We'll find it. It was in the car driving home. The sad, sad days when electronics go missing. Where could it, if it's not in the car, where could it be? I may have to hurry up and finish this so I can go help him. It's kind of hard to use my phone to call Hills while I'm on here with you guys. I need it to be 13. Oh, hurry up, hon. There. And then 9 centimeters wide. Okay. I'll hurry.
Alright.
Yes, I will. Okay, like that. And card base. So now it looks like the Danish flag is falling from the sky, except it got a blue cross all of a sudden. I hadn't really thought that one through. I'll fix it, I guess. Or not care. Any Dane will know what it means. I've seen people do cards where the card is not even in the right color, and I still get exactly what the point is. So there, and then we need this one. Okay, are you supposed to hold it like that? Okay. Okay. Or like that. Is he supposed to stand up there? That seems silly. I think we'll move him down here. All right. Yeah, let's glue the scooter on and then glue Teddy on, because that's weird. First the scooter. I'm just gonna keep this square, I think. And then Teddy's feet, and Teddy's hand, and maybe behind his ear will reach the card and the tail. Just put it all over and see how much sticks. Not on my table, please. All right. Okay. This one on. Come on. And I think we're gonna need some foam for that. Of course it's too long. Let go. I think he goes. There. this will be today's card. And it's probably going to be a birthday card. So, but I'm not going to put a sentiment on it as per usual. I hope you enjoyed this project, that you'll be back again tomorrow for another one with another mystery theme. Until then, I hope you'll be having a good day, evening, or night. På gensyn.